Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is David, this is David K Reacts, and today I am reacting to what is easily the most requested video of the past 4 days, which is Nothing Else Matters as covered by VoicePlay. I am super excited for this, not only because a lot of people have been telling me how amazing I'm going to find it, but also because I'm a pretty big Metallica fan. I like metal music I still do, but I was super into it for a very long time, and Metallica was one of the forefront bands I used to listen to. And Nothing Else Matters, I think, is probably one of the seminal power ballads of all time. And I'm really excited to see what can be done to turn that into an a cappella arrangement. Because that's just not what you'd expect at all. And I know VoicePlay is going to have done an amazing job of it, quite apart from everyone saying they have. So yeah, I'm just fascinated to see what's happened. A tiny bit of history about the song, just because it's really interesting, I think. Many people probably know a lot of this, but it was written by James Hetfield while they were on tour, about missing his girlfriend at the time. And he actually didn't want to play it for the band. He told Mojo in 2008 that the music that they sort of wrote and performed was all about headbanging and typical metal vibes, quote, as long as it wasn't about chicks and fast cars. And he then went on to say the song was about a girlfriend at the time. They demoed it in 1990 once the band had heard it and adopted it, and it went down very well. But what's interesting is it then didn't gain its stadium scale for a while. That actually came thanks to Bob Rock, the producer, who'd just come off working with the Motley Crue on Dr. Feelgood, and also composer Michael Kamen, the late Michael Kamen. If you don't know his work, you do, actually. He's worked with a lot of artists. He's worked with Pink Floyd, Bowie, Queen, Rush, Guns N' Roses, many more, Aerosmith. Lots of fantastic artists, and has also scored a lot of film and TV. He actually scored both the Die Hard and Lethal Weapon series, the Bond film License to Kill, Mr. Holland's Opus, which is one of my favorite films, and actually what I think is one of the best pieces of music ever written for a television series, which, well, the whole soundtrack for the series, but specifically the main theme for Band of Brothers, which is just a stunning piece of music. Anyway, the point being, you put those two on top of an already amazing song by Metallica, and you get this stadium-filling anthem that it became, and it gains the longevity that it has. It's fantastic. Although it was demoed in 90, as I said, came out in 92 as an album release on the Black Album, the self-titled album Metallica. But one thing that did make me laugh, in the studio recording, Kirk Hammett did not play guitars. It was actually played, the guitars on the album were played by James Hetfield, so it's one of very few songs where Hammett did not play the guitars. And it only made it into live performances a month before the album was released, because Hammett was so afraid of screwing it up. And I love that that much respect was held for this piece of music, and appreciation, I think. I know there was some controversy about it while it was being recorded and what have you, or I believe there was. But I love that they came together and respected it to the point where they wanted to make sure that it was perfect before they put it into their live sets. So that's fantastic. Song made it to number 34 on the Billboard 100. It made it to number 6 in the UK. I actually thought it made it higher, but apparently only number 6. Should have been higher. And what is quite a nice touch is number 1 in Denmark, which is Lars Ulrich's home country. So it had quite the impact. And there's one story about it I will share, but I don't want to keep this intro going too long, so I'm going to watch the video first. Just quick channel introduction. Welcome back to my channel if you've been around. Welcome if you're new. The way this works, I'm going to watch the video straight through without pausing it or interrupting it. I'll emote over the top, I'm sure. And if you just want to see a reaction, then that's all there is for it. You know, the first quarter of this video or so is for you. After that, I will go back and I will go through with an analysis. I will pause, I will interrupt, and I will offer what analysis and commentary I feel I can over the top of the video. That's how I work. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you want to know when my videos come out. Usually Fridays at 5 PM, all going to plan. This one also, all going to plan, is going to come out earlier than that because I want to get it out quick. And yeah, you can also head over to buymeacoffee.com/DavidKReacts if you would like to donate to support the channel. And I think this is the last video I'm going to record before this time, so I will just add that until the end of January 2023, I'm donating 50% of all funds that I get through my Buy Me a Coffee page to the PTSD Association of Canada. So if you donate before then, you're also supporting a fantastic cause. Thank you very much to Janet, who just recently bought me a coffee to celebrate my 1,000 subscribers. I very much appreciate that. Thank you. And without further delay, let us listen to what I suspect is going to be quite a masterpiece of a cappella work. I have no idea what I'm expecting, to be honest. I know Lane plays a violin. That is the only bit. Oh, my tradition. I want to get better at this before the video starts. Arrangement, creative design, and costuming by Jeff. Always a multi-talented man. Editing this time by Lane. Direction by Jeff Lane and Tony Joachim. Audio mix Ed Boyer, of course. Production manager Kathy Castellucci, of course. Interestingly here, camera operator Andy Montejo. Camera assistant Andrew Cox. And production assistant Paul Kaleka, who, unless I'm very much mistaken, and I don't think I am, was the camera operator for a video I also just reacted to, which I think is coming out this Friday, if all goes to plan. So it's nice to see, you know, different people taking on different roles. And of course, filmed at Patty Cake. I also enjoy the breakdown on VoicePlay. Ellie is tenor, Caesar is tenor baritone, Jeff is bass, Lane is drums, baritone, and violin, which I love. And featuring Jay Nunn. Whoa. Which is pretty accurate. Jay Nunn's voice is wonderful. He's one of my favorite. I guess he's a guest now, where he used to be a member. But I love hearing his voice in the mix. So here we go. Without any further delay, this is Nothing Else Matters by Metallica, as covered by VoicePlay featuring Jay Nunn. Okay, this is cool already. Woo! Ooh, I like this. Ooh. Oh. Oh, so many things. So rich from Jeff. I love what they've done with this intro. It's such a simple intro, so effectively arranged here.
So close, no matter how far.
Oh, that drop back. Perfect for this song.
Forever trusting who we are, and nothing else matters. Never opened myself this way.
Oh.
Life is ours, we live it our way. All these words I don't just say. Ooh, and nothing else matters.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
Trust I seek and I find in you.
Oh, that's lovely.
Every day for us something new. Open mind for a different view. Oh, and nothing else matters. Oh, never cared for what they
Oh.
do.
Well, that was cool.
Cared for what they know. But I know.
Nice.
So close, no matter how far.
Yes.
Be much more from the heart. Forever trusting who we are.
Oh.
And
Oh, beautiful.
Never care for what they do. Never care for what they know. But I know.
Oh, yes.
Never open myself this way. Life is ours, we live it our way.
Oh, the shifting of where the melody is. Oh,
And nothing else matters.
yes. Oh, love it. Yes. Oh, this is so good. Oh, yes. Yes. Woo! Oh! What was that? Oh! Yes! Oh, that is stunning pullback.
Much more from the heart, forever trusting who we are, and nothing else matters.
Oh. 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 Oh my goodness. What an utterly, ridiculously amazing arrangement. Oh my god. Holy smokes, that was incredible. I think I said the exact thing about the other video I recorded. I just recorded another VoicePlay reaction that's, I think, hopefully coming out this Friday. And I thought that was incredible. They just keep leveling up. I don't know what I expected. All I know is this exceeded it. What did I just hear? That was, at the same time, incredibly complicated and incredibly simple. Like, the whole thing, it's one of the most iconic introductions of all time, if you ask me, to a power ballad. You just have this E minor, bum, 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 bum. Or it's not even in an inversion, is it? Bum, 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 bum. It's such a simple guitar introduction to that song. And even the introduction, they have made this complicated interweaving of different bits of vocalization, and oh my Oh, I can't get over how good that. I'm still processing that because I had no idea how this was going to work, and it works so freaking well. I did just want to. I think that the story I was going to say is even more appropriate. There's a lovely story. This is also in the Mojo magazine interview. James Hetfield said he went into a Hell's Angels clubhouse in New York, and they showed him a film they'd put together as a tribute to one of their fallen brothers, and they'd scored it with Nothing Else Matters. And he said to Mojo, and I quote, "This means a lot more than me missing my chick, right? This is brotherhood." And I love that thought. This is brotherhood. I mean, there are so many conceivable reasons why this song could be sung. Of course, missing a girlfriend is one. But there are so many others. And I love that he had that experience. So what an extraordinary thing. Hey, bud. You want to come up and say hi? Oh, I think we get a Timmy appearance in this video. No. Oh, no. No, he says, no, not interested right now. We'll see. That may change. I've got a peanut gallery. That's what I've got right now. I've got a peanut gallery. See if I can... You gonna come? Yes, you are. There you go. Say hi to everyone. Hey, bud. He has opinions. Excuse me. Yeah, you folks weren't kidding when you told me this was going to blow my mind. Let's just go back. Let's go back and listen and see if I can pull anything intelligible out of this without just becoming a gibbering wreck of astonishment and adoration for what an extraordinary arrangement this is. Kudos to Jeff on this one. This must have been tricky, but wow, does it sound good. All right, let's go. So one thing, firstly, there is that lovely minor arpeggio. They haven't changed that at this point. It would help if I turned the video back on again, wouldn't it? Okay. But it's nice because we just got to hear that. And what you hear there is basically what the intro is to the actual song, which is just a minor arpeggio. But what I do love is what they've done with it, which I can now bring in terms of the visuals. Like, it's such a lovely thing, highlighting the people that are singing. We get an idea of seeing them and being introduced to them before we see them in situ, which is actually a really nice touch. I like that. It also kind of lets you see what everybody's doing because they're highlighted at the point where they're singing. So we can see that Ellie is holding this longer note on through this introduction over the arpeggios that the others are adding the chords to, which is just a really nice touch. And then, of course, I mean, there's many things to love about that. I love that Jeff drops down, that is kind of like signifies the end of that little passage. I love that there's that very slight rallentando, the slight slowing down of the chord before we come back in again to this next section. It's just, and the balance of the harmony in this is spot on in every possible way. I think they've absolutely done a great job. The mixing in this is just amazing. Okay, so let's talk about up to there. You get this lovely hanging note from Ellie coming out of this. Like, he has this upbeat that comes in just before the rest of the chord fades out. So it's a continuous introduction. But because the chord has slowed down and he comes in on the upbeat, we have this lovely sense of continuation. Even though we're changing from, one moment to the next. It's a lovely, lovely way to start this. Also, just because I'm going to get lost in the music, I'm going to mention it right here. This visual in front of us is delightful. I love this hanging light bulb effect. We've seen that sort of thing before. Jeff used it in 16 Tons, where he had one light bulb for each of his clones, if you like, that were singing along to that. But here we've got more light bulbs. It's a bit more of a Starfield kind of effect rather than like a highlight. And it just gives this lovely sense of warmth. You can see the glow it provides, around the bulbs as well as with the bulbs themselves. And then these lovely lights just shining down, forming that pattern on the floor, which for a second I thought it was a gobo, which is where you stick a small disc in front of the light that projects a pattern onto the floor. But actually I realized I think it's just the stools. It's the legs of the stools. And it's really nice. And of course you got this shiny floor, so you got a little bit of a reflection. And what that's doing, which I think is actually quite effective, is just providing a little bit of color at the bottom as well. And so you've got this bracket, the heavier section by the heads, which of course is where you want to focus anyway, and then just a little bit to fill out the bottom. I also like it. It's such a subtle touch. Obviously, as they often do, each of them is wearing slightly different clothing within the theme of the black. But then Ellie, who leads a good part of this, and certainly brings in the lead, has the white soles on his shoes. And it's just a small thing that separates him from the others, just for a moment. And then you kind of forget about it as the video progresses. But it's a nice touch. And it's like they each have something a little bit individual. Jeff has the pocket square, which I think, does Ellie have one as well? Or is that might just be a decoration on the thing? Caesar has his necklace on. The wing collar of Lane's coat sort of stands out. And I think the Janon is the only one that has the more closed collar. It's small things, but it puts individuality into a uniform. And I just think it's such brilliant design. Massive kudos for this video looking just as amazing as it sounds. Anyway. I love we have that hold there. We're not 100% sure of the tempo at this point. If we go back to this again. Dum, dum, dum. It holds there for a moment. And it's such a beautiful effect. And then this moment where we go from this. Just these ooh chords in the background. They don't really pull away from there's a little movement in them, but there's not that much focus. And then we come in, and it's not just a change from an ooh to an oh, but we get the whoa that puts emphasis on the reintroduction of the voices and brings them all to the forefront. And I love, while we're still in this instrumental section, the motion is being provided by Jeff. That's... Oh. Okay. This is just how I progress. But it's interesting having the motion in the bass. He's got this very active dum 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 dum, like he's moving all over the place, and so he's giving this a sense of pushing forwards, even while the chords are what's actually driving the sort of piece as it carries on. It's a really, really beautiful bit of arranging. And we have that little moment there, which I love so much at the end of that section, where we come back down. There's one nice touch as well, where there's actually a note here where... oops, didn't mean to do that. Where Jeff is missing from the downbeat. It's an interesting touch there because it just adds a little bit of interest into the bass rhythm there. Even while he's moving around so much, you would expect him to land on that downbeat, and he doesn't, which allows the chord to breathe for a second before he comes back in. And then as he hits the tonic again at the bottom here, we get that bell chord just for a second before it then moves away again. And when you get up to that boom, boom, dum, dum, it breaks away ever so slightly. And you get, it changes tone again. We've now got this ha 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 ha. It's double speed entries from the chorus. So it's increasing the motion and the pacing of the video as we move forwards. It's introducing a louder sound. Now instead of even the more open, or it's a louder sound. It projects more. It's just, oh, so good. Also, what I love here is we have 5 voices, right? Because Lane isn't beatboxing at this point in time. He's singing. The only percussion that we've got so far, other than the percussive consonants that are being sung, are the snapping fingers, which I was just going back there to check. It looks like it's Jay Nunn and Ellie. I would imagine they probably multi-tracked that. But it's just such an interesting effect, and it's nice because it doesn't intrude on the video by seeing everybody simultaneously snap. Like, it took me a while to even catch that 2 of them were doing it. And the fact that the video isn't focusing on their hands or the wide shot every time they do that draws focus away from it onto the music, which is it's just a really, really nice choice. I like that. Oh, I just saw Jeff snap too. Is that... Oh, that's it. Is it just they're all doing it, but it's really well disguised by the video, so there's no focus on it? That's really clever. Here. Yep, 100%. So it may be also... Yeah, that's interesting. There is no focus on it because we're not seeing people snap at some points and we are seeing them at others. It's a small touch, but it's really nice. I like that because the focus is on the whole of the music. And we don't need the attention drawn to that because it's really just a timekeeper and a point of rhythm interest. Anyway. Such fascinating harmonies going on here, and Jeff is lending a really interesting harmonic touch to them because they're not always rooted in the notes you would expect them to be. If you listen to the bass line, I'm going to play that. I was going back on the same spot again and again, I know. I want to play that section one more time. Just have a listen to the notes that he's singing. Even that last, right before he goes up, that's not a full octave, is it? That's a 2-1, it's a sustained second, isn't it? Or am I hearing things? It's going to be a dum, but then he goes up the octave. He hits the second there for a second. So even the resolution takes a minute to settle. I love what's going on here. It's giving this richness to, you don't have a band to show off with at this point, so they've got to do it some other way. Especially because this intro is, we're 53 seconds into this video and no one's sung a word yet. And they're keeping it so fascinating by the harmonic and rhythmic adjustments that they're doing and how busy they're keeping this without at any point in time making it so complicated that it kind of, goes into math rock instead of what it's meant to be. And it's just so masterfully crafted. That too. We go back into this arpeggio again with a few little embellishments here and there, and then right at the end, the chorus just holds it on, and you get just the arpeggio from Jeff. Just going up at least. And it's just, that's such a nice touch. I also love that your eye is drawn. It's a really smart piece of motion. The eye is drawn to Ellie by him kind of, settling his jacket. It's a subtle motion, but it's something nobody else is doing. And so you can't help but focus on it, and that prepares us for him being about to sing.
So close, no matter how far.
What a powerful intro, too. Jeff just holds on, boom, 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 boom. And Ellie comes in on that note, while the lower version of it is just hanging on. And it's just such a nice entry, because, again, there is no break. It doesn't have a moment's silence before the verse starts. It just comes in over the top of this hanging note. And it's just... what a perfect way to start. And then this lovely, gentle bass line from Jeff underneath what Ellie is singing.
So close, no matter how far. Couldn't be much more from the heart. Forever trust in who we are. And nothing else matters.
What a powerful statement to have 5 people there and only have 2 of them singing, and only one is singing the notes, and everyone else just has the finger snaps going on. It allows this import and the sincerity of that verse to land so hard, and it really sets the tone for what this song is. Just brilliant.
Else matters. Myself this way. Life is ours, we live it our way.
And then we come in with Jay's verse. We have this lovely, this soulful vocalization before he starts singing, and then the chorus, and I'm going to keep calling them the chorus just because it's the easiest way of differentiating, just comes back in on what the actual accompaniment is for the song, where you have the E minor arpeggio and then it moves into the 2 broken arpeggios where they don't quite finish on the top. And the bass line that Jeff is providing takes it to places that, and I should have listened to the original right before I listened to this just to kind of get it into my head. But I think he's adding a more detailed bass line and going to slight harmonic changes that the original song doesn't go to because of the notes that he's choosing to put underneath.
Life is ours, we live it our way.
Oh.
Never opened myself this way. Life is ours, we live it our way. All these words I don't just say. Ooh.
I love that too. All these words I just don't say. I don't just say even. Listen to the dropout of the chorus.
Words I don't just say. Ooh, and nothing else matters.
So many fascinating choices going on here. The chorus singing the words nothing else, but not matters. That is a really interesting choice because the nothing else is the focus, but it's also we don't know what nothing else until the word matters come in, sung by one person, which personalizes it a little bit more as well. It's a really, really nice choice. I like what they've done with that arrangement.
Nothing else matters. Trust.
Interesting too, listening to how percussive they're being each time. Notice that those 2 arpeggios just there was more of a tum 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 the first time, and then a dum 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 the second time. So the first time was a little more pronounced. Also, that little run, ooh, and nothing. Such a nice little touch. But here. See what I mean? There's a difference between how pronounced they are each time, because we have a moment of breaking away into the transition between the 2 verses where you have the tum 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 tum, and then in order to lessen it and lower it back down again to allow the vocal, we make the percussion on the vocalizing sounds a little bit lighter, and it just leads back into Jeff starting to sing. So good. Oh, sorry, no, this isn't Jeff's verse, right? This is the harmonied verse, of course, which is in the original song. We start getting harmonies here as well, so this is where the harmony would come in terms of the actual sung line, and that's what they've done. It's great.
Trust I seek and I find in you every day for
Couple of lovely things they've added here. I love that they find in you in the harmony line, and then Caesar having the answer, like there's a sort of call and response thing going on there, which is just, it's so good. Oh,
I find in you every day for us something new.
and you have Caesar and Lane fleshing out this harmony, and because he's finding you, he's going up. It's widening this harmony. I talk about this all the time with VoicePlay, and I'm going to keep doing it because it's so effective. They have this thing where they start compressed and they widen it out as they go, and it's such an effective technique. It's no wonder they keep using it, and it's just spot on here because it brings in a new height that we wouldn't experience in the vocals of the original. But because they are a cappella, they can play more with vocals. They can go wider with vocals specifically. And it's just, this is so good.
Every day for us something new. Open my
Such a nice thing. Something new. Jeff sings as well. And then he goes straight into the dun dun dun. It's so effective having that change between him being part of the lyrics going back into the rhythm section again.
for us something new. Open mind for a different view. And nothing else matters.
Oh, those chords there, that nothing else. Wow, that chord is so rich. That's gorgeous. And I love the whoa that they put in there that allows a little bit more vocal transition between sections. They're keeping this so full all the time. And so what it does mean is when voices do drop out, either pulling back to smaller voices or having a moment where just the lead is singing and everyone else isn't there for a second, it emphasizes those moments so strongly because we're used to hearing sound all the time.
Open mind for a different view. And nothing else matters. Never cared.
That choice right there. Wow. Just going, you have the big build and then poof, gone. And you see what I mean? It's emphasized because we've just had all that sound coming at us for so long, suddenly there isn't any. And we then come in with this very muted chorus, and it's just so much more subtle. It allows this vocal now to, we get the chorus full bore, because it's coming, the vocal of it is coming so strongly.
Never cared for what they do. Never cared for what they know. But I know.
Oh, and the way they play with that rhythm there, with the extension to allow Jay a little bit of riffing. Also, I love that it's on the whoa when there's a bit more of a sort of backing sound coming from Jay. On no is when you get this wah, you get a bit more opening coming from the chorus.
Never cared for what they know. But I know.
Beautiful. Oh, and then right, of course.
But I know.
And I love that is our introduction to the bigger, like the sort of more loud, more built arrangement where we start getting, now we get percussion coming from Lane. We get a bit more power coming from all the voices, and it's all coming from that whoa. That choice to suddenly make that note louder is so powerful. And notice now the chorus is really kind of playing a little bit more with what they're doing. We're not just having arpeggios, the sort of simple riffs. Now we're getting change in the vowel, change in the consonants, change in what they're doing. They're riffing a little more around the chords that they're doing. Everything is expanding. Lane is now percussion instead of singing along. And yet, even though there's now only 3 people singing the chorus, it doesn't sound like it's gotten any quieter. And of course, we get this beautiful, rich solo from Jeff on this verse. Excuse me.
So close, no matter how far. Couldn't be much more from the heart. Forever trusting who we are.
And I've said this before, but they're doing what they do so well, which is the choice of rhythm for the chorus is emphasizing the percussion. It's adding rhythms of their own into that percussion, like the from the heart that we had there. That gap. One, you get the f, like the from, which, while a fricative consonant, it's still it's pushing air. It's creating a kind of percussive beat of its own. I do apologize. As you can hear, I'm still fighting this cough. I will be mentioning that in the video on Friday as well. It is still ongoing. My apologies. Yeah, you're still getting percussive from the even there. Gives a little bit of repetition. You get from the, which is sung with Jeff, and then get it again. And then here we get another rhythm too. The ever there, immediately the fact that that is cut so short and doesn't run into the V, that creates a percussive beat. And then the heart, like the way they're using volume, pushes rhythm forwards as well. That's not so percussive, but it is still indicative of what the rhythm is doing of the song. I can't get over how much detail has been rammed in and how good this arrangement is. Also, that lovely drop down from Jeff there. He's still singing the melody and he's still finding moments to have that, the plummet down and then bounce back up again within the melody.
Couldn't be much more from the heart. Forever trusting who we are.
And notice the note he settles on at the end.
Trusting who we
are. He's come back up to a different note under the same chord.
Forever trusting who we are.
And you get that lovely resolution afterwards. The amount they're playing, even the melody is affecting the harmony here. And that's partly because it's Jeff and he's down the bottom and what a bass sings does affect the harmony above. It's also just because they're doing really interesting things with the melody. This is so good.
Forever trusting who we are. And nothing else matters.
Wow, that was a lot. I love the use there of that deep, deep note coming from Jeff. Nothing about what he's doing here when he's going down into his subs, it doesn't sound out of place in any way. It doesn't sound flowery anyway. It sounds like it's enhancing the arrangement. They are so well placed in this. And listen to his bass line there. You've already got this extraordinary chorus motion going on over the top, which VoicePlay just does so well. But on top of that, his bass line is going all over the place. Just listen one more time.
Never care for what they do. Never care for what they know.
These chords that they're moving to in the chorus here are extraordinary. They're taking the flesh of what the chorus is And they're making it so much more involved, which wouldn't work as well, I don't think, with a band the way that they're doing it. But for voices, it's perfect. And it's how they have succeeded so well in taking a song that you would think is so massively out of genre, and they've just made it their own. And they're doing it so well. It feels like it was no work at all, although I am absolutely certain it was a ton of work.
Never care for what they know, but I know. Never.
You just have to... How many different chords did they just hit on one word? On just the word no. I'm going to go back and just play that entire chorus again. And just listen to how many different chords they progress through.
Never care for what they do.
Oh, also there was another great moment of silence. Listen to at the end of the woe.
Never care.
There's just that split second there where no one is singing something, and it's so powerful. It sets us up for moving into this next section.
Never care for what they do. Never.
That do! After the never care for what they do. What on earth chord is that? Because I have no clue. The dissonance in this, you wouldn't expect dissonance to work as well as it does in the way that they're using it, and holy... Yeah, this is great.
Care for what they do. Never care for what they know. But I know. Never open myself this way.
And then we've pulled right back and listened to the lyric we come back in on. Never opened myself this way. That is a very vulnerable thing to do, to open yourself to somebody. And the fact that they've pulled right back, it's not loud in your face. They've pulled right back to this subtlety to come back in on that lyric. Oh, so good.
Never open myself this way. Life is ours, we live it our way.
So nice too. Even though Caesar isn't at the top of his range and Jeff isn't at the bottom of his, we still had that top singer to bottom singer drop. Or not tops, I guess Ellie's would be singing higher, but we've gone from one of the people singing higher in general, even though they're not at this specific moment, coming all the way down to Jeff. And it's that breadth, again, the breadth between moments, only this time it's sort of almost starker because it's line to line, rather than being, you know, Caesar sings the first half of the verse, then Jeff sings the second half. It's literally line to line, and yet it's still so powerful.
Life is ours, we live it our way.
And even there, life is ours, we live. That chord choice.
This way. Life is ours, we live it our way. All these words I don't just say.
Oh, say! Listen to say!
All these words I don't just say.
Wow! Excuse me. I can't get my head around how impactful these chords are. They are fleshing this sound out so very much. This is stunning. Just stunning. Oh.
And nothing else matters. And nothing else. Trust I see.
And what I love that you get this lovely rock growl from Ellie with the Nothing Else Matters. Everyone else comes in on a more powerful note, and then boom, we get that lovely re-entry from Lane. We get the camera shake. That just kind of, it's impact. Like, that's what it is. It's impact.
Nothing else matters. And nothing else. Trust I see. And I find in you. Every day for us something new.
Interesting, too, when they're choosing. Trust and seek I find in you. Find in you. They actually have a call and response, and then the next line they don't. It's interesting seeing where they choose to do what.
I see and I find in
Oh my goodness. There's a line in there. I'm not sure if it's one person or if I'm hearing changes between notes. Yeah, I think it's one person. And nothing else matters. It's just allowed to shine through just enough to let the impact it's having on the chords, but it's not a particularly interesting line. Something ending up on the fifth that isn't in the melody is very rarely the most interesting thing going on, and yet they've managed to make even that fascinating in how they've chosen to use it. And then they have this lovely moment, they build right up, Ellie gets this lovely high note, and then poof, chorus is gone again for a second. And now we have a focus on these lines. And I love this choice of having Jay hold these notes on, and then Ellie and Caesar kind of talk to each other with this harmony over the top of them. And it doesn't feel like there's any less emphasis on the word say, even though it's only one person left singing that note throughout the entire thing. Wow, this is so, so well done. It shows off their skill as well. Like, everybody's skill is being demonstrated so, so beautifully in this. And I'm so glad they chose Jay as a guest, because his voice is perfect to be doing what they're doing with it. It's also worth noting, I love that Lane is going for a more reverberant sound. His toms, his bass drum, even the snare hits that he's doing have a little bit more reverberance to them, which is very, very appropriate for late 80s, early 90s metal music. There was a real openness to the sound of the drums, and he's just representing that perfectly. It's fascinating balance in the voices. Like, they use Caesar for that very vulnerable moment where it dropped back again. They use Ellie for this kind of the rock kind of moments there. You've got Jay singing this very powerful line right now and really kind of pushing it forwards. They've chosen who sings what line so carefully, and it really shows in the decisions that have paid off so well in this. Love that fill. Didn't catch that first time round. Thank you, Lane. Oh, that bell. That bell chord right there. That... that was almost Queenish. I love what they've done with that. It's not a clear increase. I can't actually tell if they're going down throughout that chord or if they go up and down, sort of alternating a little. Oh, wow! Wow, that build! Oh my goodness, that is so, so well done. This build through here is just utterly, utterly brilliant. And we're leading into, the guitar solo moment, which is Violane. I've been chuckling about Violane for about 10 days since it first showed up on the VoicePlay Discord, and it's still making me, it's great. I love it. But listen to this. It starts with that bell chord. Such a good choice there to go. They don't go straight up. They moderate how much they're going up each time by having that repeated note, and then poof, way up to the top. Ellie, holy... Oh, the height he hits on that note, my goodness. That is so cool as well. The break. I mean, I'm going to come and talk on about Lane's the violin in just a moment. But the break there for the nothing else. What even is that sound? Who did that? Is that Lane? Like, what just happened, even? I have no idea what that sound is, but it's freaking amazing. Just, wow. What I love is that up to there, the violin is very, you know, there's not much dissonance in there. It's kind of fitting in with what's going on now. Leading that second half of that phrase, we get so much dissonance in the notes that are being played in the violin there. It's great. And it's, you know, if this was a guitar solo, there would probably be pulled strings there, where it's like you put the, I'll show it on this hand, you push down on the frets and then pull the string, and you can do it over multiple chords and pull down, and it gives a bend. But the violin, you don't really do that. And so what you're getting instead is these very stark, extremely stark dissonant notes, and it's so good. And of course, using an electric violin, you can get these little bits of distortion in there. The tone they've set for that violin is just perfect for the tone they've set for the song. I love this so very much. Oh, I think 2 octaves. Wow, Ellie, holy, talk about showing off. Hey, buddy. You want to come back up again? You coming to say hi to everyone, or are you just begging me for your 19th snack of the day? He doesn't get 19 snacks a day, but he certainly asks for them. You want to come up and say hi? You say hi one more time? There you go. Anyway, yeah. Oh, wow. Wow, 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 wow. And I love that at the end of that violin solo, they have a delay, or like they have a long decay period, I should say, on the chord that the chorus was singing. So you have that beautiful high note from Ellie just sails on over the top, even as the chorus moves on to sing other things. So good. It's also amazing how good an a cappella chorus is as an accompaniment for a violin. Like, just listen to this. It sounds so full and complete. I'm really impressed with how much Lane has managed to kind of make that feel like it is a guitar solo. I know there's people out there that do that, but it's just I know Lane's a violin player, but hearing it just kind of coming out of nowhere like this, in such a potent usage, it's just superb. Is my mouse still on the screen? No, it's not. I just got the... oh, it's because I paused it. Right, duh. Saying the play bar, I can see the track bar, but that's why. Even little things like, you almost don't hear it, that da-da-da-da, from Ellie right there.
So close, no matter how far.
Oh, so good.
Couldn't be much more from the heart for it.
And I think it's appropriate now that we come back. We've got this reduced thing, different set of lyrics, but same kind of reduction in terms of power to, less power that we had when Caesar came back in. But this time around, we have Jay singing it. We've got a little bit more power to it. It's not quite so withdrawn, which I think it doesn't need to be for this set of lyrics at this point in the song. And it just allows it to build back out in such a beautiful fashion. The drop back down feels so natural.
Ever trusted we are, and nothing else matters.
Fascinating choice there. We get this lovely held dominant from Jeff that you think is going to resolve to nothing else matters. But it doesn't. It just hangs.
Ever trusted we are, and nothing else matters.
The choice of vowels that they're using here, going from the not sure what the notes are, but going from that wide open sound and just finishing that line on the closed is so potent. I love that you almost don't hear Jeff go down at the end there. Like, that drop is almost imperceptible. This ending. What? I don't even know what to say. This is incredible! This has to be one of the most accomplished a cappella arrangements I've ever heard. And I could say that about a lot of VoicePlay. I think the song that's coming out this Friday, which of course if you're seeing this after Friday, January the 20th, 2023, that song will already be out, is an incredible arrangement. Wicked, which of course was my first video on this channel. I'd love to go back and wish I could almost react to that for the first time again, because now I know the group better. I've listened to it yesterday, and there are so many more things I would pick at, but such is the nature of starting somewhere, I guess. But there's so many stunning arrangements, and this, like I said, they just keep leveling up. This is utterly, utterly brilliant. Wow. Just wow. This one's going on repeat. Also, does not surprise me that this is my first reaction over an hour long, because, well, for one, it's a very long video, like 5 minutes and 45 seconds of singing. Add in the fact that there's just so much to say about it. I mean, just wow! Gentlemen, I tip my imaginary hat to you. Also, I love... What a lovely final shot. Like, that's great. And then the fade to black. It's... Oh! Yeah, you were all right. Jaw is sufficiently on the floor. My goodness. My goodness. There you go. Thrash metal to a cappella. Well, power ballad, thrash metal band to a cappella. But I love... What a perfect song for them to have chosen. I mean, it's just such an amazing piece of music anyway. But it's also... I've got cat hair attached to my eye. It's also just the perfect piece of music for their style. Like, now that I've heard it a couple of times and I've listened through to it and I've studied it, I'm like, well, of course that's what it sounds like. Because it's so obvious that they turned it so well into their style, but the work that must have gone into actually finding a way to do this effectively, I can only imagine. I mean, there must be a bit of risk in doing something as... I mean, I'm sure there's risk in a lot of what they've done, but this one is just so not what you would expect on first glance. And yet you can come out the other end and it feels familiar. It feels like VoicePlay doing what VoicePlay does and doing it exceptionally well, as they always do. I have nothing else to say. This is marvelous. Go down, look at the description of this video, find that link to the original video, and just go and watch it and bathe in an astonishing piece of music. This was fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed my video, please hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not. Hit the notification bell if you'd like to know each time one of my videos comes out. And do head over, if you would like to buymeacoffee.com/DavidKearReacts, and you can donate there to support the channel. I also have a wishlist item up there for a hard drive. I need to get another external hard drive so that I can dump all my previous videos, because they are taking up a lot of space on my computer right now. Because doing long videos, when you print them out in high quality, it chews up some space. So. Anyway, thank you if you're still here. I hope you've enjoyed everything I've had to say about this. I could probably do another video just as long if I went back and started again. I'm not going to do that, but I look forward to seeing other things, hearing other things. Put down in the comments, what did I miss? What cool things are there that I didn't hear? I may pick a few up and put them in the notes of this video that I put up here. We'll see. But yeah, tell me what you thought about this. Because, I think I know what everybody thought about it, because why wouldn't you be thinking the same thing as me? But wow! Anyway, thank you so much for sticking with me through this, and I hope you have a lovely evening, afternoon, morning, whatever time of day it happens to be. And you take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.